Okay, so Hare Krishna to all the devotees. I welcome you all to today's class of Chapter 2 of Nectar of Devotion. The chapter title is First Stages of Devotional Service. Okay, so first stage, the most basic stage, or the most important stage for your progress in spiritual life, for your um, development of spirituality in your life. This is the most basic stage and most important stage you can think. And even one step, this one concept also, if you understand and follow, that will be very much helpful in your devotional life. Only one concept. We don't have so many concepts, so many these things. Okay, just one concept, the most basic concept also, if you remember, okay, that will be very much helpful in developing devotion in your life. Okay. So we are very fortunate that we are going to read today this first class of, or the first chapter of Nectar of Devotion. Okay. So let's start with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakhya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavaham Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamcha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrivate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitidamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay. Is my voice clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So let's start chapter number 2, the first stage of devotion. So, Srila Rupa Goswami divides bhakti in 3 types. Okay. The most initial stage is, you can see here, the stage of sadhana bhakti, or the stage of sadhana means to practice, the stage of practicing of devotional service. Okay. So stage of devotional service, stage of sadhana bhakti, the first stage. Okay. There are also 2 types of divisions are there. One is called the stage of regulative, the stage of bhakti of regulative principle, and one is called raganuga bhakti. Okay. So sadhana bhakti also is divided. We'll be mostly dwelling into the sadhana bhakti. We'll be seeing that part mostly, and then 2 other parts are there which are for advanced level. That is called stage of bhakti in bhava and prema. Okay. So these 2 stages are there. These 3 stages are there. Stage of sadhana bhakti, stage of Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. Okay. So we'll be seeing about the stage of sadhana bhakti or devotional service in practice. Okay. Devotional service in practice. So this is the most important step, and the first stage is called this one, the devotional stage in practice, devotional service in practice. So what is the meaning of devotional service in practice? Means we are doing the devotional service, and for that we have to practice. Practice for what? Practice for training our mind and senses to be engaged in Krishna. Okay. So you see, the meaning of practice is to employ our mind and senses in practical devotional service. Employ our mind and senses in practical devotional service. That is the most important step which we are discussing. Our mind and senses should be engaged in devotional service. What is the devotional service? We'll come to know when we progress through the class today. We'll come to know what is that practice and how we need to practice that. Okay. So that thing is there. One very important point which Srila Rupa Goswami starts this chapter with, is that he makes one point that our devotional service or our devotional life or our devotional journey, which we are starting in this life, is not new to us. Not new to us means that it is a continuation from the previous life. Devotional service or devotional life which we are living today is the continuation of devotional life which we have gone through in the previous life. Somehow we were not able to complete that devotional life, and we need to take birth again. Maybe previous life, maybe many previous life before, we have started a devotional service, but somehow we fall down from that stage, and now we have to again start the devotional life. Okay, so one very important point which Larup Goswami makes, that devotional life or devotional service is continuation from the previous life. Okay, yes, so very practically we can see also that sometimes we in level 1 we used to see that some devotee used to come to the classes, and they are so much attached, there is so much inherent tendency is there for them, in them, that they become so easily attached to Krishna, and they do first level of classes, then they do second level of classes, and they start chanting. First level only they started very nicely chanting. Second level they increase their chanting. Third level, by coming to the third level, they become more serious. They start doing 16 round of chanting. They are following our regulative principles. Level 4 they go, then Bhakti Shastri, they start, they become initiated, and very nicely they become situated in devotional life. Their devotional life is very nicely situated. Whatever they are doing, they are thinking about Krishna, their mind and senses very much fixed in Krishna consciousness. So we see, practically, we see many devotee like that when we start from the level 1, they nicely take up level 2, level 3, and then and practice also they start by chanting and following the four regulative principle, reading regularly the books. Okay, so you see very nicely some people take up the devotional service. Why these people are taking? Because they are not new to the devotional service. They have already started the devotional process in the previous life, and they are continuing from they are continuing that journey in this life, because they could not complete that journey in the previous life. Okay, somehow we see, sometimes we see the devotee, they fall down somehow. Sometimes we see that devotee, they are doing very nicely devotional service, but somehow they fall into the trap of Maya and they fall down happens. Okay, this is very common because Maya is very strong. If we are not strong in devotional service, Maya can any day it can take us. Okay, take us down. So sometimes it can happen that devotees are doing very nicely devotional service and they fall down. So what will happen to them? They will continue in the next life. Okay, they will continue. There is one condition: they should not have done Vaishnava Aparadh. Vaishnava Aparadh is very dangerous. If you do Vaishnava Aparadh, it is very detrimental for our devotional life. Okay, so provided that they have not done any Vaishnava Aparadh, and they fall down, but they have not done the Vaishnava Aparadh, and so what will happen? They will continue in the next life. Okay, they continue in the next life. They will continue in the any next life. They will continue from that point. Okay, so devotional life will be very natural for them. Okay, sometimes we see that even if any person is there, and we try to preach him, that we try to tell him about Krishna, about Bhagavad Gita, so it is very difficult for them to accept or take up the devotional service. Okay, so sometimes it happens. We see the practically these things. So why it happens? Because they have not started the devotional service yet. Maybe they have not started, and they do not have that continuation which the earlier person had. Okay, so we see these problem or these type of examples very regularly. Okay, so why this happens? The explanation the Rupa Goswami gives is, devotional service is continuation from the previous life. Whatever devotional service. So somehow we see that every one of us are attending, so many devotees are there, so many nice devotees we have got. So who are very regularly attending the classes. We see that every Sunday we have the classes, and very regularly I see the devotee attending the classes. Okay. And maybe I hope that every one of you are chanting very nicely. 16 round you have taken up. Tea and coffee, these are rubbish thing you are not taking, okay? And all the non-vegetarian food which are very detrimental. Actually, non-vegetarian food are very detrimental for our devotional life, you can say, because these are type of a sin only, okay? So as soon as possible we should try to leave those sinful activities, okay? So I hope that you are not eating those things. Even if you are eating, try to avoid that. Try to eat Krishna Prasad, okay? And try to engage yourself in the devotional service. That will be very helpful for the development of Krishna consciousness. So we see that many people are attending very sincerely from level 1, level 2, level 3, and very nicely chanting. So why these things are happening? Because we have done any devotional service, okay? So that thing is there. So one condition, Prabhupada, Srila Rupa Goswami says that devotional service is continuation from the previous life, okay? So we see that. And sometimes it happens that many devotees, they have not done the devotional service in the previous life, but still they take up Krishna consciousness very nicely. Okay. That can also happen. How can that happen? That can happen if they follow the instruction of any sincere devotee. Okay. Any sincere devotee, any acharya, any guru, okay, any Vaishnava, if a person follow the instruction of that person, he will get the mercy of that person, and due to that mercy he will progress in the devotional life very nicely, okay, progress in the devotional life very nicely. So due to the mercy of acharya, due to mercy of devotee, due to the mercy of Vaishnava, these are very important things. So we should when when we have not done devotional activity in the previous life, then if a person follow the instruction of devotee, then also he can progress in the devotional life very nicely, okay? So where one can find the instruction, okay? So Guru Maharaj is there. Guru Maharaj gives the instruction. The instruction is in such a way that if a person follow that instruction, he will progress very nicely in the devotional life, okay? So that thing is there. Second thing is you can follow the instruction of Prabhupada, okay? So Prabhupada has given all the instruction in his book, okay? So when we read the books, okay, we become strong in our devotional life. Our devotional life, we feel that somehow something is lacking if we are not reading. Even if you are doing the devotional service, you won't feel that strongness in the devotional life or the devotional services or in Krishna consciousness if you are not reading Prabhupada books. If you are reading Prabhupada books regularly, you will find that you are becoming fixed up in the devotional life, devotional services. So it is not very difficult task to be in Krishna consciousness. What we have to do is we have to regularly, with a routine, we have to read Prabhupada books, we have to chant, we have to at least we can read half an hour, okay, like that. Daily, regularly, if you are reading, will become fixed up in devotional service. Okay. If you are not reading, what will happen? We feel that something is missing. Okay, we are doing the chanting. Okay, we are doing all the 16 round, but somehow our mind is uh, running here and there. Somehow our mind is not getting fixed up in the chanting. We are following the four regulative principles also, but sir, we are not progressing in Krishna consciousness. Okay, that will happen. So the solution is to read Prabhupada books regularly. If we read, then and sincerely, we have to read also sincerely with carefully examining every word and thinking about every word and applying those words in our life. We don't have to take too much time. Even half an hour of daily reading is enough. Okay. So if we do that, what will happen? So that will fix up in our mind in Krishna. Okay, that will fix up our mind in Krishna because Prabhupada very strongly recommends that we have to follow the four regulative principles, fix up mind in Krishna. So we regularly read up those things. What will happen? Our mind will become fixed in Krishna. Okay, so devotional life is not very difficult if we are following the simple instructions. Simple instructions. Follow the all the 16 round for regulative principle, reading Prabhupada book. Simple instruction. If regularly, routinely, if you follow, it is very easy to progress in Krishna consciousness. It's very easy. Okay. But sincerity is required. Sincerely, if you are following the instruction, then we can progress. So practice means employing our mind and senses in the practical devotional service. So we were discussing that even if a person is not continuing from previous life, if you follow the instruction of Acharya, then he can progress in Krishna consciousness very nicely. So we have seen the example of Prabhupada instructions which are in his books. That's why I'm pressing on the instruction that we should read Prabhupada books very carefully, and whatever instruction is there, we try to follow that instruction. Okay, then life is very easy. Devotional life is very easy. Okay, practical devotional life is very easy. And second thing we can do is we can read the life of Prabhupada. Okay, the Prabhupada Leelamrita. Okay, though we should not copy the senior devotees or the senior Vaishnava. Prabhupada is very senior. He is Nitya Siddha Bhakta. So we should not copy the Prabhupada, whatever activity Prabhupada did. But still, if we read, we feel attached to Prabhupada. Okay. So we feel attached to Prabhupada, and then it will be very easy to follow the instruction of Prabhupada. We can feel the mindset. We can see what is the mindset of Prabhupada, what Prabhupada wanted from us. Everything we can understand when we read Prabhupada Leelamrita or the life of Prabhupada. So there is long version of Prabhupada Leelamrita is also there, where many books are there. Or short version is also there. I think that name is Prabhupada, the Messenger of Godhead, something like that. Short book is also there. So two books are there. One is short, one is big. So big also you can read, short also you can read. Whatever time permits, you can read. You can start with the short book. Okay. So so there also you can see the mindset of Prabhupada, how Prabhupada wanted every person to be Krishna consciousness, what things he instructs more. Okay, so those things also you can read, as well as in his books also you can correlate what he wanted from us. Okay, so that is the thing. So mercy of the devotee is also required if we have not done in previous life. Even if we have done the devotional service in previous life, progression will be very fast if we have mercy of Krishna and mercy of Guru. So mercy is required. Okay. So for that, we have to follow the instruction. Okay. So that thing is there. So, and the instruction, what we have to do? If instructions are there, what we have to do? We have to practice that. That is called devotion, service, and practice. We have to practice. Okay. What we have to practice? We have to practice of engaging our mind and senses with Krishna. Always remember Krishna. Mind. Always remember your mind in Krishna. Mind, what is the meaning of engaging the senses in mind? Mind means always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. The most important instruction. Always remember Krishna. Maya Shakta Mana Partho. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.1. Maya Shakta Mana Partho. May Ashakta Mana Partho. May means me, Ashakta means your mind should be attached. Mana means mind. Okay. So Maya Shakta Mana Partho Yogam Yunjam Madashraya. Okay. So how we can attach ourselves to Krishna? By which type of yoga? Actually, the 7th chapter Bhakti Yoga starts. In the 7th chapter to 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga Krishna discuss. And in the first slok only, Krishna starts with the first line, Maya Shakta Mana Partha. Means our mind should be attached to Krishna. Maya Shakta Manaha. Our mind should be always attached to Krishna. Prabhupada, every time, wherever he says, whatever instruction he gives, the main focus of all those points is our mind should be attached to Krishna. Prabhupada has used this sloka, Prabhupada has referred this sloka most of the time. The most number of referred sloka Prabhupada, which Prabhupada has referred is this sloka, 7.1, Maya Shaktamana Partho. Why? Because this is the most important instruction. Prabhupada said that the most important, or we have only one business. Our life is having only one business. So many businesses we see in our material life. We see so many businesses. We have go to office. We have to work here and there. We have to please our boss. We have to please this, please that person. Okay. If you are doctor, you have to please. You have to go to office. You have to go to hospital. You have to treat the patients. You have to. Many things are there. So business, that is one business. Some people are having some shop, they are going there, they are doing the business. That is not our business. Even in ISKCON also we see that so many businesses are not business. Prabhupada says our only business is to remember Krishna always. Maya Shakta Mana Partha. Okay. Our only business, our only target is to remember Krishna. Is to remember Krishna. Maya Shakta Mana Partha. Our only business is to attach our mind to Krishna. If our mind is attached to Krishna, you are in perfect devotional service. Mind is attached to Krishna, that is called perfect devotional service. If our mind is not attached to Krishna, we are not in devotional service. That may be something else, but not the devotional service. The devotional service means our mind should be attached in Krishna. Our mind should be attached to Krishna. Whatever activity you do. So you see, the so many activity is advised. So many people are doing so many devotional activity. You go to temple, so temple president or many people will give you different type of activity, that you do this type of activity, you do this activity, you did this activity. So many activity will be advised. So the activity we should do, that is not the matter that we should not do. But the thing is, most important thing is why we are doing those activities. Not that what activities we are doing, how many activities we are doing, whether this activity is very low, whether that activity is very high. Okay. Whatever activity is there, we should remember only one thing, that why we are doing those activities. We are doing those activities to purify ourselves or please Krishna, or whether we are doing those activities just to please our senses, that okay, I am very senior devotee, I am doing so many services in the temple, I am doing so many activities in the temple, I am very important person in temple, so many people are following me. Whether I am doing for that, or whether I am doing for the appreciation, that temple president will tell me, okay, you have done very nice services, we are very grateful to you. Or other persons who are coming to temple, they are very much impressed by us. No. Whatever activity we are doing, our only business is to attach our mind in Krishna. Krishna says in the first sloka of 7th chapter, when we start the Bhakti Yoga, Maya Shakta Manapato Yogam Yunjam Madashrayam. Okay. Yogam Yunjam Madashrayam. Madashraya, under my ashraya or protection. Okay. You should follow you should do the devotional service by attaching mind in Krishna's service. Okay. So our only business is to remember Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is the meaning of practice of employing our mind in Krishna's service. How we can attach our mind in Krishna's service? Simple one line. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Attach your mind to Krishna. Attach your mind to Krishna. Okay. So that is the meaning of employing our mind and senses in Krishna. So mind is that. Senses means whatever senses we are having, 5 types of senses are there. Our tongue is there, our nose is there, our ear is there, our skin is there, and one more is eyes are there. Okay. So eye, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. So 5 types of senses are there. So every senses can be engaged in the service of Krishna. With tongue, we can do the chanting of the holy name, as well as we can taste the prasadam. Honoring the prasadam is also a type of devotional service. Whatever we honor, we should honor the prasadam. Okay. We should remember that, oh, Krishna is very grateful that he has given the prasad. Okay. It is very difficult to control the tongue. The most important thing, or the most difficult thing to control in this material world, is to control the tongue. And for that, Krishna is very merciful that he has given his Krishna Prasad. By eating that and taking the Lord's name, by glorifying the Lord's name, by chanting the Lord's name, we can control the tongue. So how nice Krishna is there that he has given his Krishna Prasad. We are very grateful to Krishna that he has given the Krishna Prasad. Okay. The tongue we can engage in Krishna's service. Eyes we can engage in Krishna's service by going to temple, by offering, by taking darshan of the Lord. Okay. Eyes also we can engage. Ear also we can engage by hearing the classes, by hearing the bhajan. Okay. Then the skin we can engage by serving the deities, by serving the different devotees. Okay. What is left? The nose. Nose we can offer whatever fruits, whatever flowers are there, we offer to Krishna. Then we smell that offered prasad, the offered flower as prasad of Krishna. Okay. So these things, whatever senses are there, these senses are very difficult to control. But if it is engaged in Krishna's service, it is easy to control. It won't happen in one day, but we should start the practice. That why it is called devotional service and practice. We should practice. Okay. Practice of employing our mind and senses is Krishna. So how we can engage that? We have seen that we can engage our mind by attaching our mind to Krishna, but always remembering Krishna. Always remembering Krishna. How we can always remember Krishna? That also we'll see. And senses, we have seen that we can engage the senses in the service of Krishna by not following the senses for the sense gratification. Senses are very much accustomed to enjoy. Okay, we are very much accustomed to enjoy the senses, but we should divert our mind through those enjoyment and enjoy or utilize the senses in the enjoyment for the Krishna, pleasure of Krishna, by serving the devotee, by serving the or the things which we have seen. Okay, and the mind, we have to always remember Krishna, always remember Krishna. So that thing is there. So always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna is the main important thing, most important thing you can say. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So it seems very difficult. How we can always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna? Okay, this is very difficult. Okay, so many activities we are doing, so many activities, outside activities we are doing. How we are going to engage? That's why it is called practice. We should start practicing. Start practicing. It is like, you see, we need attachment to Krishna. That is the most important thing. What is the most important thing? If you see the household life, husband, wife is there. Okay. The main purpose of the household life, for the material example, if you see that husband and wife should have attachment. It doesn't matter whether the husband is going out and he's doing for 5-6 hours of whatever service he is doing, whatever service he is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for the wife that what service the husband is doing. Okay. But at the end of the day, he's coming back to his home and he's nicely treating his wife. He said that he tell him that whatever activity I was doing, I was remembering you and my child, that both of you, how you are doing, and whatever activity I'm doing it for yourself, that so that we can earn money and then we can have very nice life. Okay. So like that. And so the main thing is there should be attachment to the wife and husband. And for that, husband is working so that he can take care of the wife. The main purpose of working of the husband is to take care of the wife and child and the family. Okay. The main purpose is that. For that only he is working so that he can earn some money and he can the life will be very nice. Okay. The attachment. But main purpose is not to work. The main purpose is to the attachment. Okay, there should be attachment. The husband should be remembering about the wife should be remembering about the wife should be serving the husband, like that. Same thing. If you see the person is doing the activity, whatever activity he is doing, the main purpose, whatever devotional service or activities, the service is called devotional service. Whatever devotional service is there, it is just like the husband working in the office. Whatever activity the person is doing in the devotional service, it doesn't matter to Krishna what activities you are doing. Whether you are doing the very high level of devotional activity, managerial activity, temple activity, you are washing the temple, whatever activity you are doing in the temple, it doesn't matter to Krishna. The matter is why you are doing. You are doing to develop the attachment to Krishna, then it is very nice and okay. Krishna will be responding to you. Krishna will be very responsive to you. You have the Krishna's mercy. If you are not doing, then you are just doing a regular practice that you are doing something, and somehow you'll get bored that what I am doing these things, why I am doing those things. Let's leave these things. Let's leave the devotional service. I want to go back and I want to uh, join the office. I want to join a multi-billionaire company. I want to earn money more and more. Again, that is called fall down. Okay. So fall down. So fall down can happen anytime if we are not knowing the purpose of our devotional service. Our purpose of devotional service is to employ our mind in the remembrance of Krishna. Remembrance of Krishna. If we are not remembering, if we are not attaching our mind to Krishna, that devotional service has Punya meaning. Punya means zero. That devotional service has no value. Okay. Only mechanical things Krishna does not require. Krishna has many devotees. Krishna has many devotees who can serve him. Okay. And many powerful devotees who can serve whatever we are serving. Other things also Krishna can arrange many people. But what Krishna wants from us is our attachment to Krishna, how we are developing attachment to Krishna. The main purpose of Krishna consciousness is our consciousness should be attached to Krishna. That thing is there. So whatever activity we are doing, what activity we are doing doesn't matter. Why we are doing the activity, always remember that. Always remember that activity, whatever we are doing, that is we are doing for the attachment, our attachment to Krishna. If that purpose is not fulfilled, whatever activity we are doing, that is zero, that is sunya, that is has no meaning. Okay. So we understood that practice means employing our mind and senses in the practice of Krishna. Out of that, the main thing is internal, the mind thing. The senses is outward, but outward also we have to engage as well as inward. That is our mind. So our mind is very important. Our mind, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. The main principle of Krishna consciousness. That's why it is called Krishna consciousness. It is not a Krishna's mechanical activity, not like that. Okay. Or the devotional activity, not like that. Prabhupada has very specifically named it the society as International Society for Devotional Service. No, that is not there. That is not international. We are not in International Society of Devotional Service. We are in the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. The main purpose is to develop Krishna consciousness. Our mind should be attached to Krishna. Our mind should be attached to Krishna. We should always remember Krishna. That's why the main purpose of is to attach our mind to Krishna. Okay, the main purpose. So practice is there to invoke Krishna consciousness, which is innate, already there and purified. So we see that we have the tendency to serve Krishna. We have the tendency to somehow attach our mind to somewhere. Okay, that is innate tendency is there. We have the innate tendency. We all have the tendency. We have to divert those tendency to attach to Krishna. So our mind is attached. Our mind always remembers something, some people, something. They are attached to some people who are very dear to us. So somehow we have to divert that attention to Krishna because that is most important part. So Krishna, we have to divert our attention to remember Krishna. Okay, that part is there. The innate tendency is there. We remember something. Somehow we remember this person or that person. Okay, so that person should be the most important person. That is Krishna. Okay, and the representative of Krishna, that is Guru. Okay, who is so if we have so somehow sometimes we see that Krishna is very far. He is in the Vigraha form. It is very difficult for us to exchange to do the exchange. Then how to do that? So for that, Krishna comes in the form of Guru also. So Krishna is there in the living form in the form of Guru. So with them also we can reciprocate. Okay. So Krishna is there in the form of Guru also. So if you're following Guru's instruction, if you are following the Vapu Seva and Vani Seva of Guru, then also that is the instruction of the serving the instruction of Krishna. So so our innate tendency is there to attach our mind to something. So let's attach our mind to Krishna. Let's attach our mind to a bona fide spiritual master. Okay. Then what will happen? We follow the instruction and we come to Krishna. Okay. So very easy. So innate tendency is there, just like a child is there. Prabhupada gives the example of a child in the purport that child knows, a small child is there, he know how to walk. Okay, even if you don't do anything, then after some day child will start walking. Okay, but that tendency is hidden in the child. Okay, when the child practice in initial days, he will practice, he will fall, he will practice, he will fall, he will practice, he will fall, and someday he will start walking. So that tendency is there. We see every child is walking. So that tendency is there. But initial days, everyone has to struggle. So every child has to struggle in the initial days. So that's why the innate tendency of us is there to remember Krishna. Our attaching our mind to Krishna, always remember Krishna. But that we have to develop by practicing. By practicing that thing, we can attach our mind to Krishna. When we attach our mind to Krishna, then the devotional life will be very nice, very easy, very fruitful, and taste of devotional life will be there. Okay. So then that will become spontaneous. Earlier, we have to make that thing by practice. Gradually, it will become spontaneous. Earlier days, we have to make our mind think of Krishna. Always remember Krishna. This thing belongs to Krishna. That thing belongs to Krishna. My body belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. This tree belongs to Krishna. So many places it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Also, Krishna says that this is the eighth thing the eighth thing which is there, these are my external energy, the material energy, which is my separated energy. Okay. The other jivas, which are superior energy, that is also my part. So the material energy also my part, the spiritual energy is also my part. So everything Krishna says that my part. So it is very easy to remember everything by understanding those concepts that everything is belonging to Krishna. So everything belongs to Krishna, so that we can remember Krishna by relating everything to Krishna. Okay. So practice means to invoke Krishna consciousness, which is innate, already there and purified. Just we have to purify that consciousness, that which is becoming attached to something other thing, something material, something impermanent, something temporary. We have to attach those things to the Krishna. Okay. So gradual process. So gradually we have to practice. So we have to forcefully practice those things in the initial days. Gradually that will become spontaneous. Okay. So for that, prescribed methods are there. Prescribed method, we have seen many in detail. We have seen how we can attach our mind and senses in Krishna's practice. Okay. So jivas, so mad jiva engage in activity which are dukkha yoni. We are all, so it is very harsh to hear that we are all mad, but actually that is true. What a mad person does is he cannot differentiate what is good, what is bad. Even bad things he can do, even good things he can do, everything he can do. He cannot differentiate because he cannot think. His mind is not that much capable of thinking. So that is called the mad person, the pagal. Okay. So mad person cannot differentiate what is good, what is bad, and he can engage himself in any activity. But a sane person, he can see, oh, this person is doing it. This mad person is doing the thing which is not required. That's not be done. Okay. So mad, so we are also mad person. Why? Because we are in the dukkha yoni. We are in the material world, and material nature is slapping us every day. Whatever activity we are doing for happiness, material world is slapping and saying that this material world is not for your happiness. This is for the dukkha. Okay. This is for dukkha. And four types of dukkha is always there. Okay. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi is always there. And along with that, so many small dukkhas are always coming in our life. Still, we are not able to differentiate whether this is sukha yoni or dukkha yoni. Okay. Whether this activity which you are doing, that is good for our good or bad. So material activity persons are engaged in material activity. They're not able to differentiate. Why? Because of the madness. So this is called the madness. Okay. The people, everyone is actually mad in the material activity. Okay. So due to vikarma, engage in ashat, achit, and niradana. Okay, nirananda. So one which does not give ananda, one which is asat, one is achit. Okay. So we are engaged in those activities due to our previous karma. Okay. Therefore, we have to purify it. Okay. Already there, the innate tendency of Krishna consciousness is already there, but due to madness or the material madness, those tendencies are covered. So we have to purify it by doing the sadhana. So mad person, what is the treatment? The mad person should go to a psychiatrist, and psychiatrist will understand the problem. He will give the medicine for that person. Okay. Similarly, once we understand that we are actually not doing the correct thing, we are also mad. So we should also go to some psychiatrist, some spiritual psychiatrist, and that spiritual psychiatrist is our Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Okay. So that is the prescription to cure. So this nectar of devotion is the prescription of cure. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Okay. So Srila Rup Goswami has given us to these practical tips how we can progress and start the devotional life. This actually this class is the for the starting the devotional life, but that is also is the thing which is required to us, because Actually, if we see through the first step, these are in the first step of devotional service, actually we have not started the devotional life yet. We have not started a devotional life. Somehow we have entered into the devotional life due to Guru and Krishna Kripa, Guru and Krishna Prasad. We have got the Bhakti Lata Beej, but we are not able to nourish that Bhakti Lata Beej. We are not able to flourish that Bhakti Lata Beej. Okay. So we have to engage sincerely in that nourishment. Okay. So that prescription, this is the prescription to cure. The prescription to cure is the nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction. If you follow these nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, what will happen? The cureness from the madness will happen. The cure from the madness will happen. Okay. So duty of Acharya is to fix way. So what is the duty of Acharya? Duty of Acharya is to give the instruction according to the person. Okay. If you see a mad person goes to psychiatrist, he doesn't go to Google. Oh, Google, I am having this problem. Give me medicine. Okay. Then he will take the medicine and something else will happen. Okay. We see so many people, they come to the doctor and say, doctor, I have got cancer. Okay. Why? Because all the symptoms are matching of cancer. Okay. So cancer will also have the symptom, and other thing also have the symptom, but the person will be very much enthusiastic and very much unhappy also because he thinks that he got the cancer. Maybe he has got something very simple, something like if some person is having pain abdomen, then he may think that I am having cancer in the abdomen. Okay, like that. So for that, we require a consultation from a physician. Okay, so like that. So for the spiritual madness also, we require a physician, and that physician can be Acharya, who knows how to cure this person. So he will give the instruction according to that person, and when we follow the instruction, then we can fix our mind in Krishna by doing those activities. At least if you are not able to fix the mind in Krishna, we can fix our mind in Guru. If you are able to fix the mind in Guru, that is actually the way to Krishna. Through Guru only we can progress to Krishna. So we can focus our mind in the instruction of Guru. We can focus our mind in the instruction on the lotus feet of the Guru. And that Guru only will take us to Krishna. Okay. So that thing is there. Okay. Focusing on the mind of Krishna, and Krishna give instruction through Guru. So when we focus, so Guru know how to engage this person. So he will say that, okay, you have to do the 16 round, you have to follow the 4 regulative principles, you have to read the books. Books are the basis. When we read the books, we become fixed on Krishna consciousness. We should associate with the likely minded people. Okay. Rupa Goswami gives so many instruction in the nectar of instruction. Follow those instructions and progress in the spiritual life. First step of the spiritual life is the sadhana bhakti, practice of those instructions, practicing those instructions. By sincere practice, anyone can progress. Okay? Anyone can progress if he is sincerely practicing the instruction of the Guru. Okay. So what is the essence? Essence of sadhana or practice is somehow fix the mind in Krishna. Whatever activity you do, somehow just one focus would be there, that somehow I have to fix my mind in Krishna. Whatever activity we are doing, somehow we have to fix our mind in Krishna. We have to change our environment of the home so that somehow when we look at those things, we can remember Krishna. Somehow, if the family is Krishna consciousness, it is very easy, because if one person fall down, other person can, if one person is not doing devotional service very nicely, other person can remind him. Okay. So that thing is there, or association of devotees there, then other person can remind, okay, we are not doing the devotional service very nice, because somehow in the material world, someday we are very nicely doing, someday we come down, someday very nicely doing, someday comes down. Okay, like that can happen. So when we are in the association of devotees remind us. So whatever environment is there, if we change that environment so that always we remember Krishna, okay, we always remember Krishna, then that is the goal of the thing. Okay. Thing is, somehow we should fix the mind in Krishna. Somehow, anyhow, we have to fix the mind in Krishna. Anyhow, whatever activity you are doing, engage those activity, mold those activity in such a way that we can remember Krishna. Any person you meet, any person is saying something, you mold that activity in some way that we should remember that we are doing those things due to mercy of Krishna. We are not capable. We are not having the capability. Whatever capability is given to us, that is given to us by Krishna. Krishna has given us everything. And we should be very merciful. Daily we are having the prasadam. We should be very merciful. We should be very humble and remember Krishna, that Krishna, the tongue is very nasty thing, and due to your prasadam, you have given very mercifully your prasadam, so that we can remember you by tasting the prasadam, by doing the deity worship, everything, whatever activity you are doing in the home, you should remember Krishna. Whatever activity you are doing outside, someone meets you outside, oh, you are such a nice, this for any explanation they give that you are such a nice person, you should always that time remember Krishna, that Krishna, you have given this quality. So you can say to that person also that I have no quality. Krishna has given those quality to us. So we should be always grateful to Krishna, always thinking of Krishna. Okay. So the essence of everything is to somehow fix the mind in Krishna. So for that only person goes to a temple and does the devotional activity, devotional services. Online also many of you are engaged in the devotional activity. Why? Because of this essence that somehow we have to fix the mind in Krishna. So when we do the devotional activity, it is easy to fix the mind in Krishna. But when we forget that what is the aim of doing the devotional service, then there is no meaning of devotional service. So always remember why we are doing the devotional service. That is the most important thing. The most important thing in Krishna consciousness is not external. The most important thing is in Krishna consciousness is eternal, internal. But for the internal thing, to purify the internal thing, we have to engage our senses in the outside activity, the external activity, and through those activity we can remember Krishna through inner senses. Inner senses means mind. Okay. So that is the essence of the sadhana. That is the essence of all the first chapter, that somehow we have to employ our mind and senses in Krishna. Mind and senses in Krishna. We have to employ those activities. We have to devise those activities through which we can employ our mind and senses of Krishna. Two types of activities are there in devotional life. One is called direct devotional service. Second is called indirect devotional service. Direct devotional service are those activities which are directly related to Krishna. When we do those activities, we can remember Krishna, just like doing the Aarti of Krishna. So when we do Aarti of Krishna, we do bhajan of Krishna, we remember Krishna. Okay, we chant, we remember, automatically we remember Krishna. So these are the activities which are called directly related to Krishna, direct devotional service. Okay, and some activities are there which are called indirect devotional service. Indirect devotional service means by nature they are material activities, but if we mold our mind in such a way that we can remember those with those activity to Krishna, then that activity is also called the indirect devotional service, just like the eating. Eating anything is material activity. Material person also does, we are also doing the same thing. But when we offer it to Krishna and we offer in after offering, we honor that prasadam in gratitude of Krishna, that Krishna has given very nicely, with humble attitude that Krishna to control the tongue has given those prasadam to us, then that activity is called the devotional activity. Okay, that honoring prasadam. So that activity which was material become the spiritual activity if we attach it to Krishna. Okay. So anything can be attached to Krishna. Every activity which is there, it can be attached to Krishna. We have to devise the way. Not every activity, most of the activity can be changed to Krishna consciousness way if we fix our mind in Krishna. Okay. So those things are there. Direct devotional service, indirect devotional service. So what activity is there? You have to think that how we can engage in Krishna service. So mold our activity so that we always remember Krishna. That is the essence. Essence of first step of devotional service is whatever activity we are doing, mold in such a way that we always remember Krishna. So mold our sensual activity in such a way that our mind always think of Krishna. Employing our mind in senses in Krishna's service, that is called practical devotion service. Okay. It applies to all the Varna and Ashrama. Varna and Ashrama is outward things. Outward things means the employment of the senses. Okay. So whatever activity you are doing in all the Varna and Ashrama, those activities are there, but due to those activity, our minds will be fixed on Krishna. So when we are doing those activity and our mind in fixed in Krishna, so that means the devotional service. That means the devotional service. So that thing is there. One more basic thing we need to understand that sadhana bhakti is of two types. That one is called the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and second is called Raganuga. Vaidhi sadhana bhakti means services according to regulative principle. Forcefully, we have to follow the practice. We have to do the practice forcefully. Just like we have to train our mind for something, like we have to wake up in the morning. So we have to put the alarm in the morning and regularly follow the alarm, wake up and go to walk, something like that. Forcefully, we have to do. But gradually we'll see that that activity becomes our natural activity. Okay. So in initial days, we have to forcefully do the devotional service. We have to forcefully mold our mind to think of Krishna. Krishna. Attach everything forcefully to Krishna in the initial days. Okay. So that is called the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. The services according to regulative principle. There is no attachment, no spontaneous love. There is no spontaneous love to Krishna still now in this stage, and there is no attachment to Krishna in this stage. But forcefully we are doing. Forcefully we have to do. Okay. Engage by obedience to the order. Some Guru Maharaj has told you, Guru has told you, the Shastra has told you. Okay. The nectar of instruction is telling you. So these are the instructions. Engage in those instructions sincerely. Okay. By forcefully. Then that is called the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And gradually what will happen? That will become our nature. That is called Raganuga Bhakti. Then we don't have to force ourselves that, okay, mind, remember Krishna. No, our mind will be always remembering Krishna. Whatever activity is doing, we are doing, whatever things we are saying, our mind will always think of Krishna, because our mind is always trained in that way that we have to think Krishna. So that is called the Raganuga Bhakti, or service out of natural love. Okay, so natural love. So gradually that will happen, that natural love will awaken when we do the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So we shift to Raganuga Bhakti when that service becomes the spontaneous, that remembering becomes spontaneous. Okay. The activity may or may not differ. Outward things may or may not change. The person who is seeing from outside, they may see that, oh, this person is doing the same activity. This person is also eating, and material person is also eating. What is the difference? But difference is not outward. Difference is inner. The main thing is Krishna consciousness. The main thing is not the activity which you are doing. Consciousness. Who is in our consciousness? Krishna or Maya? That is the meaning of Krishna consciousness. The activity may not or may differ. Outside may or may not differ, but internal difference will be there. Okay. So both are in the category of practice activity. So these both are in the sadhana bhakti, or the devotional service and practice, the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. So with this, we end our today's class. So let's see if you have any question, any comment, any realization.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, in the olden days, there were institution of social order like society into Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras. Similarly, there is another institutional setup like Brahmachari, Vanapras, all these are there, sir, Sannyasi. Now, in the present day situation, these two types of social institutions, I think they are not existing. In such a case, what are all the regulative principles which were told as applicable to these 8 systems? What is the present position, and how we have to look at these, Prabhuji?
The thing is, we all are Shudra in the present age. So all are Shudra, we don't have the intelligence, we are just serving. Okay, we have the serving tendency. So that's why the 4 regulative principle and the 16 round has been advised to all of us. So we follow those things, follow the teachings, read the Shastras, read the books which is given to us, and we come and we progress in Krishna consciousness. That's it. So we should remember that in the modern age, everyone is in Shudra category. Okay.
Okay.
No one is Brahmana, no one is Kshatriya, no one is Vaishya, everyone is Shudra. By doing our devotional service, we can progress. Okay.
Oh.
So that thing is there. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Prabhupada books you have suggested not to read. Specific books initially, would you please suggest to Prabhuji to go through?
So in Bhakti Sastri only we are doing 3-4 books. So one is the Bhagavad Gita. Then we have already finished the Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion we are doing. Ishopanishad we have done. So
Yes,
these
sir.
4 books are there. So these are for Bhakti Sastri. Okay. Along with that, most important books are like Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the starting should be, you can start with the small books like Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Ishopanishad.
Those are part of L3 we are going through, Prabhuji. Apart
Yes.
from that, separate books by Prabhupada
Separate
regarding
books.
his personal
Srimad
experiences
Bhagavatam,
and
Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay.
Chaitanya.
These
Oh,
books are enough. And we have to read again and again, again and again, like that.
oh.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Do we have any question? Okay. No question. So we'll finish the class today. We'll meet again next week. Okay. वांछकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णवेभ्यो.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Krishna
Prabhuji. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.